and welcome into the pregame show coming to you live from Jackson State University. It has been a fun-filled few days, taking a look, being embedded with this Jackson State football team as camp has got up and going, if you will. But I tell you what, Neely, it has been fast, furious, competition. It has been what we would think camp is supposed to be.
First of all, Chuck, I'm just not going to let you go into that easily. Like, do you realize where we are, where we're doing this show from?
Well, you're right. We are doing the show from here in the
You can call it
Nerve Center, if you will.
You can call it TB Ellis Annex, Walter Payton Center. We are in Coach Prime's conference room. You know, this is the wall where you see sitting at the coach's table. Well, we just attended the coaches' meeting as they wrapped up today with all the coordinators, all the coaching staff. So as we wrapped up today and get ready to take a breather tomorrow, if you will, thought we'd just hop on and give you guys a live show from right here in the Nerve Center. We got the big board up with all the depth charts and plenty of notes on it because it's a living thing. I just didn't want Chuck to say, hey, we're live for the pregame show and not acknowledge where we actually sit.
Right, exactly. You said the depth chart, it is a living, breathing thing. That's one of the things that we can definitively say it is a battle for reps. The theme of camp thus far is competition, and more competition in everything they do. They compete. They have to compete against each other. They're competing for reps. They're competing for playing time.
You know, we're still at that point. You remember Coach Prime said, and y'all forgive me looking to the side because I'm looking at the big board, and there was some moving around as the coaches were talking earlier. You remember Coach Prime was on the show recently and said there was only 3 starters: Shedeur Sanders, Niles Gaddy, and Dylan Spencer. And Niles is on the defense side of the ball, and Dennis Thurman, the defense coordinator, he's made it clear like we don't have defensive starters yet. And when you come out here and you see these guys work and practice, and you attend the film sessions with them, you understand why.
Very much.
You know, there is depth over there, but there's not drop off. You know, 1, 2, and 3 are just about equal. Even though you see a 1 there, and 2 days later 1 is down to 3 and 2 is up to 1. It's moving around. So it's plenty of excitement, plenty of depth, plenty of talent, much improved over the spring.
I think you're going to be taking a look at a completely different team that you saw in the spring. One of the things that jumped out for us, the team speed overall from position to position to position. It has grown by leaps and bounds. When you take a look at the running backs, the receiver room, my gosh, you know, it is definitely a team that I think has grown leaps and bounds in terms of the talent aspect of it.
Sure, receivers. I'm looking at those right now, and just how loaded we are at that position. You can expect Shane Hooks to make some noise.
Shane Hooks,
Josh Lanier to make some noise. Keith Corbin to make some noise. And then when the twos and threes come in, Christian Allen makes noise.
There you go.
You know, so it's not like Shedeur Sanders does not have. I can't forget about Rucker. Like
exactly.
Warren Newman. Like you start missing these names.
Daniel Kroll.
They're all these guys have been getting reps. All these guys have been successfully competing. Catching passes deep, underneath, checkdowns, you name it. So it's a loaded position group. Same thing with the running back core. You know, Moultrie had a big run today. So at today's practice at the vet, you know, there was some competition, some 7-on-7s and that kind of thing. And even though they were just in the shoulder pads, no full tackling, just a little thump. But he can get upfield.
He can get upfield, no doubt about it. We mentioned themes within the early part of this camp: smart, tough, fast, discipline. Coach Prime said something the other morning that it stuck with me. You know, give what we want, not what you got. Leave nothing on the plate. So it's amazing. He's really watching everything with regards to this team.
Man, I'll tell you how much he's watching everything. You know, he's big on not walking when you're on the field.
Yes.
And so he was telling everybody to run. I was walking to go get a microphone, and he said, I mean everybody. And I looked back like, I felt like
he had to try. He had to give up something.
I felt like the assistant principal on lean on me in the cafeteria, like,
yeah.
bro, I just picked up the paper. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, no, if you out there, like, you got to be out there.
No doubt.
But yeah, man, we might as well start at quarterback and just go position by position. And you know, he has named a starting quarterback, and I think it's pretty evident when we watched him prepare, watched him in the film room, watched him on the field that Shedeur Sanders is QB1. And rightly so, earned that title. And man, the reps, the passes he's making downfield. You know, you talked to T.C. Taylor, who played here at Jackson State, put up major numbers.
Yeah.
And he said, man, his smarts are off the charts.
Yeah, that's one of the things. His football acumen, his football IQ, is amazing. And honestly, and one of the things that I've really looked at with regards to this staff, the teaching aspect is just really off the charts. I mean, it's
really
not just know your technique, know what you're doing, but understand down distance, game situation, things of that nature.
I would tell you, hey man, Michael Pollock is watching.
Coach?
Hey coach, we're come on down the hallway. But speaking of, you brought up coach, and I just happened to see his name go by. That's one of the things, and I'm not saying that I had some kind of low expectations because we were around the team in the spring.
Sure.
But one of the things I've been impressed with the access that the pregame show has been granted, so we can tell this story, is man, our coaches are phenomenal.
Yeah.
They get down in the weeds. Like, they are some great teachers. They are giving some great instruction. You know, I sat in the QB room with Coach Pollock and the 3 QBs. And then later on, we got to sit in with T.C. Taylor, just, you know, working out some things with Shedeur Sanders, man, and the level of instruction that is taking place.
Very much so.
You know, there's an emphasis, on student that comes in front of student athletes.
There you go. I was going to say the exact same thing. I mean, they are training these young men to really be students of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Their football acumen is going to grow leaps and bounds because they're, like I said, they're not just asked to know technique, but they're asked, you know, to explain, you know, everything.
Yeah. There's a lot of emphasis placed on the why.
Yes, exactly.
You know, you come from a football school where you just do what the coach says. But this staff is really drilling down these guys. Here's why you do it. You know, I'm trying to make this play work, make this play successful. This play is not just about you and your side of the field. So you do it this way so it creates success in this manner.
Sure.
And you can see those light bulbs go off. And then we were in the receiver room and you saw receivers go up to the board with Coach Jason Phillips and diagram the play.
Yeah.
And tell not just where their route, you know, hey, you're the X, what does the X do? What does the Z do?
There you go.
You know, what is the Y going to do in this play? What is the H going to do with this play? And describe it and diagram it. The level of teaching that these coaches are doing, special teams, linebackers, you know, you sit in Coach Archer, whatever room you're sitting in, you're seeing some deep dive instruction taking place.
Deep dive instruction. You just touched on another one that I think our Jackson State Tiger fan base is going to love. The emphasis on special teams has been off the charts. We sat down and talked with Coach Prime yesterday in terms of how he even sees the field on things like punt return, kickoff returns. You know, everybody's not built the same, but some people have a different vision. And he talked about blocking schemes and things of that nature. I mean, the emphasis on special teams is just blew me away.
And we're not going to get into this a whole nother show we're going to do with him, but you know, I was like, yeah, you know, Coach Prime, at the end of the day, it's still 11 on 11. And he said, well, actually, it's not.
Yeah.
And he went through this methodology when he was returning punts at Florida State to how you're just eliminating players. You know, well, I can eliminate this guy for this and this, and I see the field, and you do this and you do that, and it leads to this. So it's really more like a 11-on-8 situation when you manage it right.
Yeah.
And the same thing, that the time that he's spending with the DBs, you know, he stops what he's doing, and we got some clips of that, y'all, that we're going to put out in an episode for y'all this week on YouTube and whatnot. We're showing Coach Prime teaching the DBs the tricks of the trade and what he's learned. It's like watching Picasso teach somebody how to paint. You know?
Exactly. It is a TED Talk on how to play the position of defensive back. I mean, to actually watch it and see it, it is amazing to watch. But, you know, looks like we're back live. A little technical difficulties there, but we're back. We were talking a little bit about the offensive line, and they are a lean bunch, nasty bunch. Different look from the past spring, but standout players thus far: Tony Gray, Dylan Spencer, who was named one of the starters. They've really been getting after it. Cedric Dunbar, who did not play in the spring, but he's back, and he is the center. He's making the line calls, if you will. So offensive line, totally different look.
Totally different look. You know, we had a lot of issues at O-line this spring, injuries, attrition, you know, people leaving from the program, did not have one unit play. I don't think we had the same unit play a full game. But now you're looking up on that big board, Chuck, and you're seeing 3 different offensive line units without a lot of drop-off between first, second, and third.
Sure.
So I think we are short up there. Those guys are working. Big things happen. Same thing with the D-line.
Yeah, I was about to say, take a look at the defensive line. A different front, if you will. Guys that have been standing out thus far. I've seen Justin Reagan. He's made a couple of plays. Abdul Malik McClain, you know, he's coming off the edge, and of course Niles Gaddy. He's doing.
Yeah, I just, Chuck, I don't want to give away the secret sauce or the recipe, but I don't know if the SWAC has a left tackle and a right tackle that can handle Gaddy and Malik coming at the same time.
It's going to be a challenge. I think it's going to be a challenge. I mean, there's a lot of speed that'll be coming off the edge for this Jackson State defensive line, linebacking core.
I just probably still one of the most competitive groups where you can kind of just close your eyes and just throw a dart and hit a good one.
Yeah.
Like there's some talent at linebacker. You know, Aubrey Miller, Hampton,
Baron
Hops.
Yeah.
Like there's some talent at linebacker.
Yeah.
There's some talent there.
A lot of talent. You said something yesterday, Jackson State fan base. That talent has to gel even more, and that's what camp does. It brings this team closer, tighter, one family, if you will. But I tell you what, thus far, the arrow is pointing up.
Certainly. Yeah. And there's some, I don't want to get into the coaches' headsets and minds because, you know, they're doing things not only day-to-day measuring as they fill out this big board, but also things to motivate others. And I mean, Aubrey Miller got SWAC awards last year, and we saw him go from number 3 at Mike to number 1 at Mike. You know, in what is technically the first week of camp as we roll into next week and officially make it a full week. So a lot of moving around, a lot of motivation, a lot of substitutions. You know, working with the second group, working with the first group to find these good fits. But the one thing that I love about it, and I've seen this in the quarterback room, I've seen this in the linebacker room, where you have, you know, competition, but you also have people pushing each other.
Camaraderie.
Like, I want to be out there, but I also want to make sure the guy that's out there is doing the best that he can.
Exactly.
So it's a healthy competition.
No doubt about it, healthy competition. And I tell you what, it only gets a little faster next week as a little bit more gets installed, and definitely
full pass next week.
Full pass next week as well, and you know everything changes when the pads come on. So
sure, and then there's another notch up in the installs.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, as far as on offense and defense, you know, you put in, you know, some schemes this week, and you build off that to add some other things. So next week is a new week. You know, new installs going in as we work to click and perfect those things. New personnel for those groups. New looks on offense. Probably going to see some things with, you know, 2 running backs back there instead of 1, just trying to feel some things out, shake some things up. So it's gonna, and I know y'all, I know I'm looking crazy, but I'm still just reading this magical. It's like shaking a magic 8 ball. You know, I'm still looking at all the changes that took place this week, and no doubt to take place next week.
Notes all over the place over there. Yeah. But be sure to check into the pregame show via our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, definitely the pregame show YouTube page as well.
Blowing up. Yes. And we got a lot of video, audio from today's practice at the Vet that we're going to be putting out there on YouTube and on the other social media platforms. This is just a live kind of recapping today, so there's going to be more things coming next week that happened to back end this week and so forth as we roll on. We're officially 28 days from the Orange Blossom Classic.
Yes.
So that puts us at about Sunday, Saturday, puts us at about 24 days.
The reverse engineering.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the game is 28 days away. Yeah. But we got to get on the plane.
Yeah, we got to get on the plane.
Yeah, we got to get on the plane. And then when we come back from that victory over FAMU, you know, we will get back on a Monday, and you got to leave out on the Thursday to go to Memphis.
That's very true.
You know, and then the NCAA has built in off days and times and that kind of thing. So There's this
moving rapidly.
FAMU is the #1 purpose for all this,
Mm-hmm.
but the season is about to start. The game is 28 days away, but we're really about 24 days away.
Yeah.
From like, it's got to be ready.
No doubt.
It's got to be ready.
We promote it here on the pregame show. Vaccination, vaccination, vaccination. The team got a tremendous talk with regards to the importance of vaccination. We can
shout out to Dr. Justin Turner. Shout out to Dr. Dobbs, who's over Mississippi State Health Department. Shout out to the other JSU alum, like Justin Turner is. Dr. Victor Sutton, who is over preventive health. They came in to meet with the team last night. My days and hours running out. Yes, last night gave a strong message on vaccination. You know, it's something we have always pushed on this show and continue to push on this show, because if we want to have social activities this fall, there's no way around it. We're going to have social activities that factor in social distancing, masks, and guidelines and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But for these events to take place, period, we're going to have to get our vaccination numbers up. It's the only path forward is to be vaccinated. And I think Hinds County is hovering around 30%. The state of Mississippi hasn't broken 35%, vaccination. Mm-hmm. And those numbers are even lower in the black community, HBCU space. So we got to step it up. We're going to always talk about vaccination and promote that and encourage it. Ask questions, ask tough questions. You can have your opinions, but you can't have your own facts. The science is the science.
Yeah. It
is the only way. It is the only path forward. It's going to keep you, even if it does not keep you from getting the virus, it's going to keep you off a ventilator. It's going to keep you out of the graveyard. Yeah. So you want to err on the side of looking out for yourself. Get vaccinated.
No doubt about it. Well, I tell you what, it has been very interesting being embedded with this team, going into position meetings, team meetings, listen to the coaches.
Yeah. The access has been phenomenal, man. Coach Prime told us that I got something in mind for you guys for the fall season. We talked about it in April. August is here, and here we are.
Stay tuned.
There's a lot of exciting stuff coming that you guys are going to love. Giving you a glimpse of Tiger football that you've never seen before, but actually giving you a glimpse of college football that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
We'll have some breaking exclusive news on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't want to give it away. I'm not going to give it away, but Monday is a special day, man. I know our guys out there don't know it, and girls out there don't know it, but not only is Monday Coach Prime's birthday, it's Chuck Bishop's birthday. They were born on the same day. So we got some special stuff we're going to drop Monday morning. That's kind of a gift, if you will. A gift, if you will. I think everybody will be excited to see, to announce some things that are coming. I'm looking into the locker room. No one's naked or nothing. They're not going to come this way. And yeah, did go get a Pepsi Mango out. Coach Prime's free. So, Coach, when you see this, you're down one. And while Chuck is shaking his head, he went and stole one too. So, shout out to Pepsi and Mango, sugar-free. Shout out to Walmart for helping with the turf field out there. It looks exciting to be on it. There's the grass field. It's been leveled. They're going to get that going. That uphill sprint, that mound, if you will.
That punishment mound?
Yeah. Sand pit is coming in. So a lot of exciting things right outside this back door. Big board is over here, living, breathing, document changing every minute with the position groups. Chuck, it's a great day to be a Tiger.
Great day to be a Tiger. Great day to be a Tiger. Look for more content from the pregame show. Charles Bishop, my man Neely, Mr. Boots on the Ground himself.
Well, you've been boots on the ground.
Yeah,
you here. You get to see. Hey man, look, I tell you what, you see this little suntan burning. Plus, Chuck, I'm musty. Like, that ain't just coming out the locker room. Like, we got musty out there today, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's shower time.
You had the Belichick hoodie on. I know you right over
there. It's Bishop. It's Neely. It's the pregame show. Be sure to stay with us throughout the course of the season.
Pepsi, man. I drink that Pepsi. I see that. I was gonna hit the button, but I can't.